all my homies were like the little leaders of that pack. And then all of a sudden they all dropped by one, and I was the last one left. So I was like, I'm the one that's holding this thing. So I had this chip on my shoulder. And plus, I never wore anything that said Gracie or nothing in school. So I was already a purple belt, and these guys had no idea who I was.
Yeah.
And they were wondering, how am I winning all my fights? I go to school, and it's my 6th period, my first day. So I was trying to keep the you know what I'm saying? This is 3 weeks after being suspended back to back.
What grade is this?
11th.
Okay.
And then I said something to the teacher. I was trying to flirt with a girl, you know what I'm saying? The teacher told me to shut up, you know, and I told him to shut up. Something stupid, trying to show off for the girl back, you know? And he goes, go to the dean's office. I go, all right, write the paper. He was like, all right, I go, write your fucking paper, man. Do your job, write the fucking little paper and send me on your way. You know, he was like, what? And he got mad because I came at him. So he stood in the door right before the bell rang. And he goes, you're staying after class. I go, hell no, I'm not staying after class. So the bell rang, everything happened. I walked to the door, and the whole class is behind me. And I was being a smart ass. I go, listen, guys, I'm going to ask him one time. I go, sir, can you please move out of the way? I got to go home. No. I was like, I asked him nicely, right? And the class is laughing. It's a joke. 2 times, same thing. On the 3rd time, I said, listen, man, open the fucking door. Didn't open it. So I opened the door. He closed it on my hand. I got pissed, so I grabbed him, and the door was open still. And we used to grab the geese. So I grabbed through his shirt, and the door opened, and back in the day, they had the bungalows. So I opened the door, and we both tripped, and his head hit the bungalow.
Can't have that, yeah.
And then I was like, next, you know, all the kids are outside already leaving school, and then you see a student on top of the teacher, and I was like, oh, shit, I fucked up.
Yeah, big time.
And then I get up and I start running. He's like, assault. And I'm like, fuck you and your assault. I start running. Everyone was like, oh shit, did you see, bro? I come to school the next day, and I had him for first period too. So I walk in late to school, and I see 2 cops there. Boom, handcuffs on me. And I'm like, oh fuck, here we go.
You can't hit teachers.
Yeah. Went to the principal or the office, right? And they're like, Ortega. I go, we finally got you. They go, we've been wanting to get you for a while.
They have enough now to get him.
Dang.
Because even when when all these problems happened, they had photos of me, like in this and this and in that.
Why do you think? Because you come from a good family, right? Like your dad works hard for you. Why do you think you? Because there's usually when there's an anger issue like this, it's usually kids are, you know, they're resisting something.
No, well, like I was telling Henry earlier in the car, it was like. I've been and done a lot of things as well, you know, like my cousin died and got shot, you know what I'm saying? That triggered a different kind of thing. And then hanging out and getting in fights with the home, you know what I'm saying? I was from the hood, you know?
Yeah.
And then the next year, you know, one of my good friends, I consider him one of my best friends, he got shot and died, you know what I'm saying? I got to see him right there laid out. So all these things happening.
That's all due to
this is all like within 6-7 months of each other, and all do the same thing. Yeah, drive-bys. And then so, you know what I'm saying? So I'm already looking at my kids in school like, you guys don't even know what I'm going through, you know? Yeah. And I think that's another reason why, you know? So I didn't really... Because
a lot of times when someone's in martial arts, like it helps with that discipline, guys not to get in fights, right?
Right, and that's kind of where the balance came in to some degree. But go back to high school. So you got kicked out of Narbonne and the whole district.
No, I got kicked out of Narbonne. I got kicked out of there.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Well, the funny thing is, I was in the office still talking shit. I was in handcuffs, and then the cop, I thought I was going to get expelled. I was like, I ain't worried. And the cop goes, oh, you're going to LP, Los Padrinos, Miss Juvenile Hall. And I was like, oh, hell no. He's like, you're going to do 8 months minimum. And I was like, hell no. Then my dad walks in, and then the cop said, like, all you need is the teacher to testify against you. So the teacher walks in, and my dad's in there. And I was like, man, if you fucking testify when I get out, I'm going to fuck you up. Yeah, and my dad's like, hey, shut up, man. And I'm like, nah, fuck this. You know, so I'm getting this big argument. My dad's telling me, shut up. And then the cop's like, you see, we love people like, you know, the cop's influencing the dean too. So everyone's there. And I'm, you know, pretty much, you know, yapping my mouth. And then the guy said, I don't want to do nothing. He goes, I just want out of my life, out of this school. And I was like, cool. I looked at the dean like, take these off. Uncuff me, send me to another school.
Good and bad, I guess.
Yeah.
Depends where you look at it.
Depends.
Yeah.
You could have used a little time in LP, but, either way.
Yeah,
So when did you
didn't
chill
even-
out and get away from all this
When I dropped
shenanigans?
So you dropped out of Narbonne. That school's
No,
done.
I went to my next school and I had my transcripts in my hand and I'm walking and someone said something. Gonna fight.
God, dog.
So then they called Carson. They called Carson High School, and then it was like Carson High School didn't take me. I went to, and at the time it was Gardena High School. Like their fences, it looked like a prison.
Yeah.
And that was where all the mess ups were going. First day in there, started something, and then the funny thing is they made it to the parents sound like it was like I was like, man, I'm like you're under contract and this. If you mess up here, you're expelled from the district and this and that. I was like, I better behave. Walked in there and it was a joke. Like the school was a joke. Like those movies, like those schools you see in movies where everyone just talks and it was
talking
that
about
school.
Dangerous Minds?
Huh?
You're talking about like Dangerous Minds?
Yeah, like it was something like that, bro.
You're a little too young for that, yeah.
And then and pretty much
So you got kicked out of that school.
So then that school I literally used to go to that school just to fight.
Dude.
I'll go in there, fight, hop the fence, leave, call my homies. We would hop in school, we would fight, and we would leave. And then after that, I was like, why am I even going to school? I go, I'm not learning anything. I have 60 absences. Like, I would just go, leave for 2 weeks, come back, start something, leave for 2 weeks, come back, you know what I'm saying? Flirt or do whatever, and then leave for 2 weeks.
What would your parents say about this, though?
They didn't know anything.
They had no idea.
Yeah. The school literally didn't call, nothing. And even them, like, at that time, my other sister was done and she was doing bad. My other sister dropped out. So, dropout wasn't like a big thing. And then finally I was like, you know what, man, I'm tired of this. I'm dropping out. So I dropped out and I started training full time and then hanging out with the homies full time. And I remember Hannah was like, hey, how come you're not at school? I go, nah, it's a free day. He go, what do you mean it's a free day? I go, it's Brian Free Day. And then he's like, what do you mean? I go, it's Brian Free Day. Because I used to train in the morning. I used to train in the mornings.
I'm like, why are you here during the day? You should be in school right now. You're 16 years old.
Yeah, what's going on
So
there?
then what?
And then I guess, well, man, you tell them. My mom snitched me out to you, man, behind my back.
So your mom,
These guys got
was it your mom? Was it your mom who came?
Yeah, my mom came to you.
That's what it was. Finally, mom came for her request. Okay, and that's when she said, Henry, Brian's not going to school. Brian has dropped out of school. Please do something, blah, 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 blah. And then I pulled you in, and that's when I said, listen, bro, I think it was pretty simple, right? I said, if you're not in school, if you're at any point of period from right now until you graduate, if you're not in school, you're not doing jiu-jitsu.
I hated you for that.
That was
I
it.
gotta lie.
You made him go to school.
Yeah. And then you went to the
He
extension
took the only
school.
thing I loved. That was the only positive thing in my life was the academy. The homies was crazy. School was crazy. Everything else was crazy. Home with my sister was crazy. So my escape was the academy.
Jiu-jitsu, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I said,
And then when he
graduate.
took it from me, at the time I didn't understand. I was like, man, that's fucked up touching my bro. Like,
Yeah.
you're
Which he
gonna go
was.
with size with my mom? Like, that's
Yeah.
cold, bro.